I'm not naive, okay? I understand the world we live in and how cameos at this point in any movie will be an open secret unless it is a tight ship like YRF that refuse to divulge any details about their films. I believe we live in a world of information being surplus, and what was intended to be restricted to be experienced in theaters is now being published in articles by journalists prior to their release, or actors themselves confessing to being parts of movies because they can't resist. With the experiences I had in the last 2 days with the big feature films in theaters and the absolute bummer I felt regarding the lack of impact some stars in the story had, I really wanted to talk about some of the appearances of the biggest names in the industry in movies that, rather than elevating films, actually did a disservice to not only the story but hampered their perception amongst the audience. Before I dive deep regarding the choices of cameos that just did not do anything for films, I wanted to briefly mention the one subcategory of cameos too, which includes the ones which were intentionally frivolous and I just did not mind. This could easily be perceived as terrible cameos, but I found them, even in their brain rot themes, to be wildly entertaining. I mean, I made a video years ago talking about how pointless the cameo of Akshay Kumar in Dishum was, playing this flamboyant weirdo who constantly leches and gropes the duo of John Abraham and Varun Dhawan. But when I look back at the appearance, I can't help but laugh every time Akshay Kumar features in the film. Akshay has done the same several times, especially standing out in Om Shanti Om, where he was hip thrusting bullets in this hilarious version of another Khiladi action film. I mean, Om Shanti Om probably has some of the most inventive brain rot cameos, but nothing will beat Komal Nahata featuring in Tismar Khan.
क्या फिल्म है ये तो फ्रेंच सिनेमा है इस फिल्म को तो ऑस्कर में जाना चाहिए
An absolutely wild card that only Farah Khan could have formulated in her head, which also makes me think about more important points. लौट आओ फराह खान, I love your YouTube videos, पर commercial हिंदी सिनेमा को आपकी जरूरत है. Most recently, when I think about rather average flicks like तू झूठी मैं मक्कार and गोविंदा नाम मेरा, I love the harmless cameos of Nusrat Bharucha or Kartik Aaryan, and what Ranbir did as an exaggerated version of himself while taking the mick out of choreographers played by Vicky Kaushal and Kiara Advani. A case that I feel is not fair to feature in the worst list include when stars also feature briefly in songs of movies. This, I believe, is harmless and merely for a few seconds, so I think it would be rather exaggerated if I were to claim that a few seconds of random stars shaking a leg in music videos was so jarring that they lost aura points or made me think that why they even featured here. I mean, we were making Kylie Minogue dance on Chiggy Wiggy with Akshay Kumar. My man Akshay was rapping with Snoop Dogg on Sing is King. Prabhas would randomly feature in Action Jackson and shake a leg with Sonakshi Sinha. And while I personally love the idea of Vijay appearing out of nowhere on Chintata in Rowdy Rathore, I will never forgive the god-awful choreography he has handed over for the 4 seconds he comes on screen. I mean, was it absolutely out of syllabus and horrendous to see Will Smith shake a leg on Student of the Year 2? Yes. But he may be really going through something in life to think that was a good idea. The same goes for Ramcharan in Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan. The things you have to do for the loyalties you have towards Bhai. It can make you do some embarrassing stuff. However, I feel the best instances of stars appearing randomly in songs include Shahrukh Khan in Hey Baby, absolutely killing it with Akshay Kumar and Ritesh Deshmukh on the dance floor. And while I am not really a fan of the choreography of Heartthrob featuring Ranveer Singh from Rocky Aur Rani that has the likes of Sara, Ananya and Janvi, the Nepo trinity of Bollywood, performing for the Dharma number, I must tell you that every millennial will know the Hey Baby soundtrack and how it was probably the most scandalous video to watch when it featured on TV. We would literally be having our fingers ready to change the channel if we even at the slightest bit heard a noise of someone coming near our room. God forbid they see us ogling at several of the Bollywood actresses grooving on this club number. It was like Imran Hashmi music videos on 9XM. You just had to catch a glimpse of it and hope and pray that the parents don't barge in. The last of this brain rot series, which I believe absolutely was my favorite, was when Salman Khan used to play an exaggerated version of himself, something that he has done hilariously in 2 Rajkumar Santoshi movies. His stint in Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani and playing a hilarious wingman for Ranbir Kapoor, to him fearing cops chasing him in Phata poster Nikla Hero, having a nightmare of now which case would be flung at him. Salman truly was hilarious in these cameos, and sadly, you can't really say the same for what's been happening in the last few years. Making us move right into the list of what I believe were the worst cameos in Indian movies that were pointless or gaslit audiences into believing something badass will happen and it was nothing but a scam. Please do write down what according to you is probably the worst cameo you have seen in an Indian film till now. I would love to see whether it features in the video or not. Number 20 goes to Abhishek Bachchan in Salam Namaste. There was an era where Abhishek Bachchan would feature in random cameos. The man was playing a groom in Hum Tum and would be the random hunk in a club in Neel and Nikki. But nothing was more unfunny than him featuring as this mumbling over-the-top doctor Vijay Kumar from Surat, who is executing the delivery of Preeti Zinta and of Arshad Varsi's wife in the climax of Salam Namaste. The punchline of the comedy sequence is Abhishek constantly forgetting stuff, saying, "You have to do that. Arey, wo, what?" And they say, "Push?" And they're like, "Yeah, push." And the sequence is extremely loud and primarily depends on physical comedy where the women are screaming and the doc is going from one wife to the other, making it quite a leap of a fun film to straight up becoming a De Danadan type of comedy. Number 19 goes to Farhan Akhtar in Daddy. This is a role in a film that really gave whiplash to audiences because of two reasons. They just did not see it coming, and most importantly, Farhan Akhtar as Dawood Ibrahim just was not menacing or conniving enough in his brief role. The odds were anyway stacked against Farhan for the exceptional renditions people had already seen of this infamous gangster, so his appearance in the underrated film Daddy almost came across as a squib comparatively, especially due to his lean structure and dialogue delivery, making even the power dynamic with Arun Gowli, an enigma people fear, something that audiences were not convinced enough about. Number 18 goes to Aishwarya Rai in Mela. I mean, talk about terrible creative choices, and Aamir Khan consistently thinks about Mela as one of them. An attempt to reintroduce Faisal Khan as a leading hero in Bollywood, the movie is a meme fest with terrible acting performances, and if one cringeworthy romantic relationship was not enough, the filmmakers introduce Aishwarya Rai to randomly face plant on the hood of the infamous truck driven by Kishan and Shankar as they sing Chori Chori Chupke Chupke Pyar Karenge, leading to love at first sight, the song Mela in Dino Ka transitions, and the happily ever after everyone wished for. Faisal Khan, the poor chap, finally gets a romantic interest in the film. No matter what road trip you're going on, Aishwarya Rai is not going to jump on the hood of your car. Trust me. Number 17 goes to Anurag Kashyap in Leo. I absolutely second the glazing that Anurag Kashyap does for the Tamil and Malayalam film industries because I also absolutely obsess over some of their most creative work. However, Anurag takes it up a notch when he says that he just wants to be a part of anything, even if it contributes nothing to the storyline, even if it is a random death in a Lokesh Kanagaraj movie, and his appearance in Leo was exactly that. A blink and a miss that contributed absolutely nothing. And while I love him in movies like Maharaja and Rifle Club, this seems like a fanboy just wanting to be on set versus really providing anything marginally creative. Number 16 goes to Bobby Deol in Houseful 5. Imagine casting everyone under the sky in Hindi cinema and then doubling down in the marketing of the film by selling the idea that the climax of the ultimate reveal of this killer is going to be the real clincher. Leave that, we'll show you two versions of it, and that will really lead to our film becoming a blockbuster, but making the film such a cringe fest that people get so exhausted as the running minutes pass by that when the ultimate reveal happens of the real Jolly, people don't even care or have already clocked out. This is what happened when Bobby Deol appeared. People did not care, and what's so indicative of poor and lazy writing is that the ultimate reveal is that Jolly also doesn't care about his inheritance. The entire point of the premise of the movie. Matlab, kuch bhi. Number 15 goes to Abhishek Bachchan in Bhola. Many of the cameos that will feature in this list include the makers believing that their movies are going to become successful franchises. And this is what Ajay Devgan believed when he was making the action-packed remake of Kaithi titled Bhola, which barring some inventive action choreography, missed the mark from a long shot, making Abhishek Bachchan's appearance in the climax as this disfigured face and robotic hand-wielding antagonist just an absolute waste of resources. Imagine being introduced as the next intimidating antagonist in a possible universe and the movie is so mid that it never materializes. Yup. That's what happened. Number 14 goes to Nawazuddin Siddiqui in Houseful 4. This brain rot of a film actually went on to become a huge hit in 2019, and while it is reflective of the comedic standards that we would let pass by, the cameo of Nawazuddin Siddiqui absolutely makes you cringe with every dialogue delivered. Playing the role of Ramse Baba, tip off of course to the iconic directors who will help in removing the ghost within Akshay that makes him think of a past life. The Chakrasan walking Baba borrows his kick dialogues, gets possessed by his own wife, and his magic trick is not abracadabra, but it's Alia Bhatt. And then he dances on a Mika song and everyone runs away. Number 13 goes to Amitabh Bachchan in Ganpat. You know the case of bad decisions in friend groups when you see someone who you trust doing something, you tell them कि देख भाई तू कर रहा है तो मैं भी करूंगा वरना नहीं. That is what audiences felt when they saw Amitabh Bachchan in the trailer of Ganpat कि सर आप यहाँ हो तो कुछ तो होगा स्क्रिप्ट में. Not realizing that maybe he was just doing a favor for Vashu Bhagnani. A Maharishi by the name of Talapati played by Amitabh Bachchan opens a dojo of sorts for the community to battle it out with one another with the hope that a messiah may get produced. And Sir का role शुरू होते ही खत्म हो गया, making a select few believe he duped us into going into the theatre. Number 12 goes to Sylvester Stallone in Kambaktishk. Brain rot in its craziest form was Kambaktishk when it released. I remember watching this in the theatre and getting a migraine on how progressively stupid it was getting. While the cameos of Hollywood actors like Brandon Routh and Denise Richards still made sense because they were a part of the film's storyline, seeing Sylvester Stallone randomly appear for an action sequence to save Kareena Kapoor with goons will make any Rocky or Rambo fan facepalm to see their hero engage in such a terrible sequence. He literally goes full Sunny Deol style ukhadoing a lamppost and does one low effort dialogue like "come on" and tells Aftab he will see him on set tomorrow while the women ogle at him. My thought was, oh how the mighty have fallen. How was he even convinced of this is beyond my understanding. Number 11 goes to Rajnikant in Ra.1. Imagine making a superhero film in Bollywood and getting the opportunity to integrate an iconic character like Chitti from Robot, starring Rajnikant and doing such a forgettable job in the cameo that people don't even like to mention it. Chitti appears, attracting all the weapons towards his car like Magneto, does a random stylish whip of his jacket, does his shades swing, characters pray to him like a god, and it ends there. Absolutely wasted, and the scene, when I often see it again, makes me really think, did Rajnikant even shoot for this sequence or did they just get a random body double to do it? Because it's such a useless scene. Number 10 goes to Shahrukh Khan in Tiger 3. YRF thought that they could recreate the same magic of Pathaan in Tiger 3, but the execution was piss poor. The entry in my eyes was straight up comical in Tiger 3. The hanging from the zipline trolley, the over-the-top pickup with one hand leading to the ultimate battle on the bridge. The standout that slightly masked over the comical action choreography was the banter that both the leads shared with one another as they took the shape of Jay and Veeru in this sequence. It's one random explosion after the other and one Tarzan leap after the other by both Pathaan and Tiger. Not a single bullet scrapes them, and the long jump Tarzan leap by Pathaan to the helicopter was just too much for even commercial cinema standards. If I thought that was over the top, Pathaan kamikaze style crashing the helicopter and catching Tiger mid-air with a parachute was where I really thought, what the hell were they thinking with this sequence? Losing the flair completely of what made the original first cameo special. Number 9 goes to Karthi in Kanguva. This is another case of the movie being so poor that filmmakers can't even envision that the universe has zero potential to become a franchise. Kanguva was painful to sit through, and if it wasn't enough that we had to see Surya scream and shout and battle it out with Bobby Deol, in the climax they introduced Karthi as the possible antagonist for the next installment. A drunk, lecherous savage, Bobby's illegitimate child, stumbling around and smiling to his heart's content, bloodthirsty for vengeance, and he is also a reincarnation of an evil commander in the present timeline. But by this time, everyone had a migraine to even care about what may possibly happen in the future in this god-awful film. Number 8 goes to Sanjay Dutt in Jawan. When Sanjay Dutt is sent to find a solution to Azad holding EVMs and money hostage, it was only partly entertaining as the star jived to Khalnayak upon his entry. He plays the role of Madhavan Nayak. He mentions his wife is Malayali and it's Onam and he has to reach on time for Sandhya, and the jokes were just not landing. I just thought of the hypothetical even when the film released. Just imagine if DCP Vijay Kumar from Theri landed up as the cop. It would have caused such mass hysteria that I cannot even imagine the scenes in the theatres in Chennai. Sanjay Dutt's cameo though barely left an impression. Number 7 goes to Salman Khan in Godfather. One of the best aspects of Lucifer were the covert operations being executed by Prithvi Raj and his team. There was a secrecy and adept quality to his appearance with his team that lent a flair to whenever they were needed. In the pursuit of just having a star face in Godfather, the cameo of Salman, rather than being of a capable executioner, becomes a celebration of the aura of Salman outside of films. He is seen rocking on a bike, giving one-liners from Wanted, launching rockets out of his regular bike, a face that is de-aged excessively, addressing the audience by breaking the fourth wall, running through fire with ease, all catered to the hooting and cheering rather than what's important, the storyline and his character. This causes for a climax battle that was in the original interesting and slick to watch, as it represented agents going in and out. But in this case, you have just an over-the-top mass appeal, and it takes away from the experience when the audience has become more mature and seeks for engaging storylines rather than only star worship. Number 6 goes to Bill Gates' cutout and half-girlfriend. The entire movie is extremely tough to sit through, especially if you were to analyze Arjun Kapoor's attempt at a Bihari accent. However, his professional goal in life is to pitch to the Gates Foundation so that the school in his village can get toilets for girls, and when this is granted after an inspirational speech by Arjun, we see a cutout of Bill Gates being superimposed on someone's body, and it made everyone chuckle on how it was even approved. And why didn't the makers just stick to this role being given to some random actor? What's funny is that the makers do clearly use an actor for the same, but for his front camera facing shot, why this exactly was required is beyond me. Number 5 goes to Aamir Khan in Coolie. I was really anticipating for an exciting climax in Coolie, wondering about the possibilities of this universe. Is there a way it can be salvaged by the epic presentation of Aamir Khan formulated by Lokesh Kanagraj? And even though Anirudh's score projecting Aamir Khan was brilliant, the sheer events that take place as Aamir Khan casually strolls around in his shorts and boots with his huskies in the desert just to casually smoke beedies with Rajnikant and Upendra absolutely removed any zing or interest that the audience had for this universe to have any potential. When Aamir says that he only said yes to this because of Rajnikant's association with the film and did not really care about what the role was about, I think the audience collectively wanted to tell him that we can tell. The tattoos, the colored tips, the comedic pauses added nothing, and it was rather embarrassing to sit through. Number 4 goes to Shahrukh Khan and Sana Saeed in Har Dil Jo Pyar Karega. Imagine a movie cameo so five-head, so meta in its form that it just went over people's head. It's so random and so unintentionally funny that it makes you think that maybe SRK was on a film set nearby and they just for the heck of it shot something together. While Rani is recovering in the hospital and is in a coma, and Salman for the family's sake is posing as her husband that she had eloped with, out of nowhere Shahrukh Khan appears to claim to be Rani's husband. A tip-off to his role from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai where Rani did play his wife. What's crazy is that Shahrukh's cameo is of a mental patient. The hypothetical of Rahul having lost his mind, taken away by doctors, and for his daughter, then Anjali, played by Sana Saeed, to enter the scene and apologize on behalf of her father due to the sadma that he is going through. The characters leave the scene and the movie moves on like it never happened. What's even more brain rot regarding the cameo in this film is that Shahrukh Khan randomly reappears in the climax, dancing with Salman, making one wonder, is this a new character or the same mental patient that will be a probable match for Rani? It's absolutely wild that this was even approved. Number 3 goes to Salman Khan in Baby John. I could not help but be frustrated at the cameo in this film. This is nothing but an afterthought, has no impact on the storyline of Baby John, seems more like a favor done for Attlee as they were planning to do a project together then, and it literally felt like they were taking the mick out of the audience when both Salman and Varun break the fourth wall and go through wishing us the festivals across the year. I am all for friendship and doing things in good spirit, but these kind of cameos across movies have ruined the hype surrounding a Salman surprise appearance. I know it isn't that serious, but I think about the fans also who really root for Salman's big bang return to the big screen. This just was not it. Number 2 goes to Mike Tyson in Liger. Imagine a cameo so crap that the actor does not even remember it when shown the project during a podcast. Liger and the integration of Mike Tyson in this film is still a fever dream for me. Mike Tyson plays Mark Anderson in this film, Liger's idol. But when Ananya gets kidnapped by him because her father, played by Chunky Pandey, the owner of the martial arts tournament, owes him money, Liger goes to Mike Tyson's ranch to rescue her. On the day of his final, by the way. Vijay reaches there and fanboys over him and wants Ananya in return, but Mark Anderson wants a fight in exchange. They end up fighting in the ranch and they livestream the fight too. Liger gets thrashed only to remember that the only way he can win a fight is by thinking that the person opposite him killed his own father. His father doesn't exist, by the way. Liger eventually wins and they take a selfie. I remember having happy tears because this movie ended. Number 1 goes to Salman Khan in Singham Again. The only surprise left out of the film's trailer that gave away everything was Salman Khan's cameo as Chulbul Pandey. I can't tell you how much of a low effort and forced cameo this was. It was so forced, reeking of such a dearth of creative expression that I think Salman would have benefited from not having it only. It's so bad that it looks like Salman and Ajay did not even shoot the scene together. It's a clear favor, an afterthought, and a man sticking to his word of doing it and nothing else. Its sheer presence annoyed me because I can tell you, अगर एक film है जो कभी नहीं बनेगी, वो ये film है. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think were the worst cameos in Indian cinema. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.